Friday night pint, and we are live, and we've got a lot to talk about. Has Paqueta confirmed that this is his last season in a West Ham shirt? We'll break down the message that he put online. The big Spurs game coming up. West Ham are making moves for that game, banning half and half scarves and all sorts. Obviously, Fabianski is back. And we'll be looking ahead to the weekend's fixtures. So, lads, great to see you again. Great to have you. Great to be drinking with you on a Friday. Well, I don't know if you guys got a drink.
What is that?
I've got a drink. I ain't got a drink tonight. I'm having a little bit of time off after last weekend, so I'm on the Evian water at the moment. But yeah, I'm a bit jealous though now, and I'm thinking I should have got one. But yeah, I need a little bit of a break after that bad weekend away last week.
What you got there, Scott? What is that? It looks like honey.
No, it is, right? It's a bit weird. So I had a delivery and it come free with a delivery, and I couldn't find a bigger glass. So I ended up with a cracking glass. But it's Moretti with a hint of sea salt.
How's that tasting?
Do you know what? It ain't bad.
You've changed, Scott.
It's one of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, when they give you like you buy a load of things and they give you like a free sample. It's one of the free samples. It's not too bad.
Why are you going in the jam jar? What are you trying to be all hip for?
I couldn't find a glass. I just grabbed the cracking glass from last week.
I thought you was going to start telling us you was in Camden then.
No, mate, I don't want to pay them prices.
It is just the one, Rich. So hopefully I'll be all right. I'm doing a weigh-in tomorrow, so hopefully this don't do me in. But we are doing the prize draw before we get into the Paqueta stuff today for the signed Julian Dix shirt. And as we said, there's still time. We're going to be doing it at the end of the show. So if you want to still get a chance to win this signed Julian Dix shirt, then you can still enter and become a member. So if you sign up to the memberships before we do the draw, then you can be in a chance to win. The fan favorite, the lowest tier, gets you 1 entry. Cult Hero, the middle tier, gets you 2 entries. And then the Legend tier gets you 3 entries in. So it increases your chance in the raffle. I've already got everyone else's names on there. We're going to be spinning the wheel and see where it lands. So there you go. If you do want the chance to win the signed Dixie shirt, then join the memberships before the end of the show, because we're going to reveal it before we finish. So do stay tuned to see who's won it. Right, looking at it, right, the Paqueta situation. Let me get up the exact message and we'll get into this, because this sort of just come out of the blue here, out of nowhere, and it sort of took everyone by surprise because it was sort of based off nothing. So what he's wrote on Instagram, Lucas Paqueta, is Wheel of Fortune's always hiding. I like that, Paul. That's what we're going to call it. Wheel of Fortune's always hiding. We're nicking that. That's a great one. He said he posted a picture of him like holding the badge and all of that jazz. You know, that picture. He's posted that picture on his Instagram, and he said it's about choosing who welcomed you, who never judged you, who believed in you until the last moment, who loved you and made you feel at home. It's about staying loyal, not only when you had everything, but also when there was nothing. So all that so far, it's like, oh, that's really nice. Like, it's really nice message about West Ham. And then the bit that's got everyone's attention is, it's not time to say goodbye yet. Let's go together for one more season. And that's the bit that everyone's like, hang on about. Hang on a minute. One more season? What do you mean one more season?
I'll be honest. I think it was obvious. I think it was obvious that he wants to move on, but I think this season he thought he owed us a little bit of loyalty. And I think what he's done there is he's basically letting us know that he is going to be leaving, but he's going to do it the right way. So the way I see it is, I'd rather enjoy him for another season doing what he does best than him just walk out the back door without us getting to say goodbye to him. So I'll be gutted to see him go because he's one hell of a player, but I'm not too pissed off with that like some people are. I know we don't want to lose good players, but I think the way he's done it and gone about it, he's sort of giving us a little, this is my last season. I am going to be leaving in the summer. Let's enjoy it together.
Yeah, I completely see where you're coming from, mate. The only thing is on that for me is it's not his last season if we don't get what we want in terms of a price tag. Like we can't just let him go regardless. Like if someone bids 10 million, he's going. So it's very presumptuous because as far as I know, his contract I think runs to 2027. Let me double check that.
I think it also gives us time that now we know that he is going to go, that it gives us time to work out a good deal to suit West Ham. Yeah. Not to suit Lucas Paqueta, to suit West Ham, to suit up. And there might even be something in agreement in the background with someone, like it might be Man City. We don't know. It could have been like something that's gone on behind the scenes. I don't know who it's going to be with, but
if nothing's guaranteed in place, then I think you need to keep that quiet. That he could have said the whole nice bit of that, because then you weaken our hand because everyone goes, well, he said he's leaving. We know he's leaving. So, like I said, I've got no problem with Paqueta. But like I
get what you're saying. His timing, it's not great, especially on the eve of like a big London derby. It's not perfect timing. This could have been something that come out maybe in March, April time to say, look, I am going to be leaving at the end of the season. But yeah.
Listen, like at the end of the day, it don't bother me. So long as we see the best of Paqueta this season, that's all that matters. I'm in agreement with a couple of the comments that have said there. I think a lot of it is blown out of proportion. It's a bit of lost in translation. It's he could just be saying that he's looking forward to getting everything put behind him and going and having one good season. Or having another good season, he's just lost in translation. This is what you got. I think just because he's written in English doesn't mean English is his first language. It doesn't. It's not like he's got someone else writing the things for him. So it could be a just translation thing. Could be. As true social media style, everyone whips up a storm and causes a nothing out of a something out of nothing.
But it's not nothing though, is it, Scott? Like, there's a reason people it could be like you said. I'm not saying you're wrong, Scott. I agree. It could be lost. It could be lost in translation. But I think with what people are reading there, I don't think you can blame people from taking that and reacting to it of, well, is he leaving? Like, what is going on? If I tried to speak in another language and my words said something else that I tried to mean, I can't blame people for me not being able to communicate what I really feel because I don't have a command of the language.
But I just think people just blowing it out of proportion. At the end of the day, if he's leaving at the end of the season, he's leaving at the end of the season. What does it matter when he turns around and says it? So long as he plays, so long as he plays at the top of his game between now and when he walks out the door, that's all I care about.
Declan Rice done a sort of similar thing. We always knew he was going, but he didn't publicly come out and say it, did he? So, the geezer 2 weeks before he joined Arsenal was telling kids that he was a West Ham player still and he was staying. So,
but the thing is what would you rather? Someone be up front and turn around and if it is his last season, going, let's have one more season. I'm going to play at my best. West Ham show me support. West Ham back me. The fans back me. Do you know what? I'm going to return that. And I'm going to play to the best of my ability for the rest of this season. But at the end of the season, I'm gone. Or be meeting with people beyond. That's what
I alluded to, Scott, at the beginning when I said, I'm not too, whether he's lost in translation or whatever. That I've took it as what I've seen him write, that he's going to leave the club at the end of the season. That's the way I've seen it. And if he's come out and said that, but he said he's going to give everything for the rest of the season. Then look, I'm not. Look, Lucas Paqueta is a great player, but let's be honest, he's not a player that turns up week in, week out, is he? So I think
this is the thing with the first three games, he's been our shining star.
Yeah, but Scott, this is the thing, mate. This is the one thing. There's a couple of things there, and what you say, I've been trying. I know I've been thinking about is there's two things. One, he's put himself under immense pressure of, I'm going to give everything and I'm going to be the bollocks for the rest of one more season. If he don't, and he goes a few games missing, well, then you put more pressure on your back because everyone goes, well, this fucker's saying I'm going to leave and I'm going to do this, and he's not putting in for us. That's one thing. And you said all I care about is he performs for the rest of the season. Well, I also care about us. If we're going to sell a player, we get decent value for him. And if he's going to hurt his value by, playing his hand and saying I'm leaving and regardless, well, then I care about that because I want to make sure if we do get rid of players with all this FFP, ESR nonsense, we get money in so we can replace the fucker because I don't care just about this season. I care about the next season, the season after that, and the season after that.
Yeah, but
we all know that our owner, Mr. Sullivan, has probably already said to him, look, we're going to get as much money as we can out of you, so you are going to go. So he's probably thinking, well, I don't want the fans to think that I want to leave, like handing a transfer request and that.
Yep.
So I'm going to come out and put this statement out to say, look, I'm going to give everything. And then obviously for one last season, however you want to take that, I don't know. But I'm taking it as that he's leaving at the end of the season.
Well, the thing is, but this is it. And Scott said, would you rather someone did things behind the back or come out and said you leave? I would rather not say anything. Like, I'd rather you just keep, he could have said and this is what I'm saying, it could all be lost in translation. He might have said, let's go for another season. And it could have meant like, a next season, like it might not, right? So I'm putting that qualifier out there. I'm basing it on the fact of if that is his message to say one more season, then he didn't need to say that. He could have wrote that nice message about the fans. You backed me, you believed in me, that's that, I love the fans, whatever. But if you add that bit on, I just think it's unnecessary because who does that benefit? No one.
But it's just. And this is the thing, though, Dan. Like with it, why would you put that? Why would you sit and put that at the end? One more season.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
And that's what makes me feel like it's a bit more lost in translation. Look, I fully expect if we don't qualify for Europe this season, Lucas Paqueta not to be playing for West Ham next season. I fully expect that. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. If it was you and you were sitting there writing out that the fans are back you and all that, would you intentionally put there and say it like it's this is my last season anyway? Do you know what I mean? And that's what makes me think it has been a bit lost in translation of what he's trying to say.
Yeah, he goes, I'm just trying to, it's not time to say goodbye yet, though. He said it's not time to say goodbye yet. Even all of that, that's kind of like...
Yeah, because he's not going.
Yeah, but yet it's not time. Like we're not thinking about saying goodbye. No one was thinking, like the transfer window's closed. No one's thinking about goodbye. No one was thinking about one more season. All we was thinking about is Paqueta's going to be good this season. Really, let's hope we can kick on. That's all we're thinking about. We just started the season, and now we're already got our minds on. Well, is he going to leave at the end of the season? What's happening next season? It's like, mate, we got to get a bid that we're happy with to accept before anything happens, mate.
Well, and that's the thing, mate. And that's what it boils down to. And this is what we were losing to the other week when we were saying about there's too much power in the players' hands.
Yeah.
And that power needs to be stripped from the players. There needs to be implications within their contracts that if they down tools and if they throw a hissy fit like we've seen with players in the past, like an Isaac, like a Payet, that type of thing, to try and force for a move, this should be reparations. It should be something where, hang on a minute, your contract is you're paid to play for West Ham United. Whether you want to leave or not, if we don't want to sell you, you've still got to give us 100%.
Yeah, I get that, Scott. But players have power, don't they? Like
and it needs to be strict.
You got a player will sit there for 2 years knowing that he's still young enough to make a move. We don't earn nothing out of him, and that's why they forced the hand. Newcastle could have done that. Newcastle owners are the richest in the world. They could have thought to themselves, do you know what? Fuck it, we'll let Isaac sit in the reserves, let him rot for 2-3 years. But they thought, you know what? We'll get 150 million in, and then we can move on. That's the problem with football. Yeah, and I'm sure that it gives us enough time now. Obviously, hoping we should still be in the Premier League next season when he leaves, but it gives us enough time now to work on targets to bring in to replace him, and what sort of money we're going to get for him. And as I said, I don't want Lucas Paqueta to get the best deal for this. I want West Ham United to get the best deal for this. Not like Dan said, he ain't going to leave for peanuts. He's still got time left on his contract after this. I think he's got another year or 2 years or whatever it is. So yeah, it's it's just a bit of news that you didn't want to hear, like coming out of the club or not from the club, from Lucas himself.
The thing is, the thing I do agree with what you're saying is that the timing's off. Do you know what I mean? If that had come out during the transfer windows being open, you know, him committing to at least this season, it looks a bit completely different. But you know, only he knows
the end
what
of the
true
transfer
meaning behind
window
it.
shut.
I mean, look, there was a lot of noise about him leaving. I know that Fabrizio Romero come out yesterday trying to say that the Villa deal was done and blah blah blah, whatever.
It's because he said, right? You know what he said just before you go on, just that he tried to say that the reason that the Villa deal didn't happen was because of social media. It was all done, but because of social media, the deal didn't happen, which is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard, trying to save face.
I mean, but there might have been a sort of gentleman's handshake between the club and Paqueta to say, look, just give us one more year. You know, you owe us that. You know, we've backed you. And that might be what happened. Probably ain't, because Sullivan would have taken the fucking money and run if he could. So maybe it was like, look, maybe Paqueta does want to move. He might not even want to move to a Champions League club. He might want to go back to Brazil, or I don't know. But
part of me does feel like there's a part of him that wants to leave England because of the FA and everything that he's been put through. It wouldn't surprise me if he did want to sort of leave, but you know, if he gives us one good season, I'll get some comments in. Cookie Hammer says, if only we had something that matters to talk about, a game or something. Patience, Cookie. Patience. We're going to talk about the game. It's not just a Spurs preview, mate. We got to talk about other stuff. It's Friday Night Fight. You know, me and Nikki talked about the game a couple of days ago, and we're going to talk about the game later on. But everyone's talking about this, so we're going to talk about it, mate. Patience. Just hope that you win, because you're in the draw, mate. So be positive, because you could win a Dixie shirt today, mate. Drano, another one in the prize draw, says he thinks it's a translation issue. If we do have anyone that speaks Portuguese and has seen like an original like Portuguese version and can translate it, let us know, because that would be interesting. It will leave the proper way, unlike Kudus, says Ray. Steve WHE Bell, $4.99 super chat, says, bloody hell, Scott, that looks like some rough kit you're drinking. the presence, it's the colouring of it, Scott. Everyone said it looks like Pearson.
That's it. It's the sea salt. That's what it is.
It's giving it that pale. Yeah, it's a real pale colour. It looks like that horrible Scrumpy Jack shit.
It is nice. It is nice.
I'll have to try it. Edward Turner with a $5 super chat. Respect Paqueta. He has one big contract left. He loves the club, but he also wants to play well to end up a Champions League club. Cheers from LA. Cheers, mate. This is the thing. I think for him, if we see the Paqueta we've seen the past 2 years, you know what I mean? He'll be lucky to go to a Championship club, let alone a Champions League club. If he can play like we've seen him, you know, in the first few games of the season for the most of the season, then he can get a big move and we can get a decent transfer fee for him. So it's in his interest, regardless, to give his all this season, like for several reasons. Paulie Walnut said he should have just kept quiet because no one would have touched him with what was hanging over him. Dino says, think he's trying to control the narratives rather than all the ITK bullshits, what we've just had. I think the thing is, though, with the ITK stuff, there's an element of doubt there. If an ITK says it, you're like, oh, well, it might not be true. But when a player himself says it, then it removes all doubt. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no uncertainty in it. Darren Werby says, I'm not even going to believe it till it happens. That's fair enough, mate. You know what I mean? That's completely fair enough. So, listen, Paqueta, whatever happens, like I said, as long as he gives his all and he doesn't do any nonsense at the end, I think we'll all be happy for him. just leave West Ham in a better place than we started the end of the season. That's what we need. Yeah, honestly. So, right, let's get on to right. So yeah, just getting into it. We've got a little message from Nikki, who's not here tonight. So let's we'll hear from Nikki. You can never get tired from hearing from Nikki.
Hi, boys. I'm just here to remind you that you can come back in the final one standing. Now, are you ready to have your wits tested? If you are, that's fantastic because you can play the final one standing by William Hill by clicking the link in the description down below or scanning the QR code up here. If you like me and still in the £500,000 jackpot, great, fantastic. You're doing well. And if you like these boys and already out, everyone can play this week's jackpot. Now, the rules are simple. All you've got to do is pick a side. If you win, you're through. And if you lose or draw, you're out of the game. It's really that simple, but it's not as simple as it seems because a lot of people have been knocked out already in the main jackpot, of course. But as I said, there is a £200,000 jackpot this week where everybody can participate, whether you're in, out, or just forgot to download and play. So click the link in the description, scan the QR code. You must be over 18, a UK or Ireland resident. Terms and conditions are in the link in the description down below. And please, if you're going to get involved, please gamble responsibly. You can join us once again for the final one standing by scanning the link in the description, scanning the QR code, or clicking the link in the description. Now, boys, try and do better this time. Thank you very much. Peace out. Enjoy Friday Night Pint.
There we go. Then look at here. We get
the way he says do better when he's finished bottom of every challenge stuff that we've ever done.
Yeah, no, he's getting all smug now because he's done better than us in this one, isn't it? Like when it was the other one, he was losing every week.
Yeah, that's true. I think how many? I think
We've got a little reminder to show him.
You still need to defend that.
Oh yeah, mate. Scott's back now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. You got to call it on.
Right.
Listen, usually the challengers, you've got to put on a deal. I'm here to, like, you know what I mean. I'm happy to look after you. You know, you need to call me out. You need to go to the ring and get on that mic and call me out.
Oh, mate, you know what? We'll arrange it. We'll arrange it this week.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's held on to it too long now. He's held on to it too long.
Yeah, we're gonna sort it out.
Longest reigning West Ham fan TV champion of all time.
So,
someone's got to cash in their money in the bank.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I think Graham tried to take it off me in Butlins last week when he tried to attack me.
Let's. I'm just gonna get this up right. Right. So to pick, I haven't officially picked my team, so I want everyone in the chat. Let me zoom in because to give me a hand on this, I need a bit of help. So Nikki has picked Newcastle, who are playing Wolves. Oh, that's a shout! Oh, that is a shout! Newcastle have got Wolves at home, mate. That's got to be a banker, lads.
Do you know what though?
It's tough, mate.
Their new striker's ruled out. Any Wissa, he's ruled out with a knee injury.
They got that other geezer though, didn't they? They've got that other striker they signed, didn't they?
I think the bankers this weekend is off Liverpool away to Burnley, Arsenal at home to Forest. I think the thing is though, the Forest is obviously with Big Ange going in there now. You know,
yeah,
they could
new manager bounce.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think
Ange's record against Arsenal ain't the greatest, is it? So
yeah, because he's football against them.
Yeah. There's some tough, tricky ones there, though. City United, can't really pick a winner there. Like you said, Liverpool are good favourites. Brentford ain't had a good start to the season against Liverpool, against Chelsea,
The way this Premier League season's going, mate, it wouldn't surprise me if Burnley fucking turned Liverpool over. I doubt it, but it would not surprise me.
So the thing is, the thing about this game is, for those who haven't played along with us, once you pick your team once, you can't pick them again. So we're lucky, right? We get a fresh start, lads. We got a clean slate. So we played the main game. We got knocked out. I got knocked out by picking Chelsea. Ryan picked Brighton, I think, and then Scott picked Man United. So even though because we got knocked out, and we're back in this one, we can pick those teams again. I'm not going to pick any of them. So, Scott, you've picked, right? You went with Liverpool, didn't you?
Yeah. Same as Ryan.
Hmm.
Palace against Sunderland's a good one, Dan.
Mate, it's just one of them games, isn't it, where you could just see the draws are what will do you in.
Mm.
In my work one, I've got Sunderland to beat Palace.
Ooh.
I think I might join Nicky on. You guys have both gone Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
If me and Nicky go Newcastle, then we've got at least a 50. Like, if at least one of those teams win, 50% of us are still in it, right? Newcastle are due a win, mate. If they don't beat Wolves at home, you got to ask yourself, like, what are they doing, mate? Geordie's at home. They've had some tough fixtures. They drew to Leeds. They lost to Liverpool, and they drew their opening game.
I'll tell you another one that I fancy this weekend. Everton.
Yeah,
I think Everton are going to do well this season.
Villa haven't scored a league goal so far this season.
Grealish against his old club. He's top player of the month.
Yeah. Right. I'm thinking bankers. Right, chat. I'm thinking of going Newcastle. Let me know what you think. There is the link in the description below, by the way. You can click if you want to play along with us.
Do you notice though, Ryan? Yeah, me and you picked. I know we've gone for Liverpool, so it's a bit of a banker. But if we go out, it's our own fault. You know, Dan's going to put this all on the chat if he goes out. And the chat will agree with me.
It's all on you. Pierre asked an interesting question: if Newcastle got a Euro match midweek, I don't think is there a Champions League match this week? Is Champions League? I don't think it is it?
I will tell you. Bear with me 1 second, mate.
I think it is. I think it is Champions League next week. European football. It might be the week after.
It is. Champions League's back next week.
Yeah.
They have to win, though. This Wolves team have got 3 losses in a row. If Newcastle don't win, mate, Eddie Howe needs to be under pressure.
So we've got Barcelona on Thursday, someone's just said.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, I look at that Liverpool game, right? And it's a banker, but it just, you know, them every now and then. Burnley are that team that Man City or Liverpool will go away to and draw. Like, that's the one thing. As much as if it was at Anfield, I would just 100%. But there's a little doubt, a seed of doubt in my mind.
I just think Liverpool are going to be too strong. Isak's debut, I think they're just going to. That could be like a 4 or 5-0.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that thingy, but I do agree with you. It is going to be. Burnley will make it tough. I don't think it'll be that many. I think it'll be a comfortable win, but I think it'll be more like a 2-0 win. But Liverpool will be quite comfortable. Burnley will just make it a bit tougher for them to score, I think.
So listen, Geordie Team for Life in the chat. I'm gonna you telling me that your boys, are you confident that your boys will beat Wolves? Let me know, man. Let me know if the Geordies are gonna do it, and I will do it because he's got the inside track. Because they got that new. What is his name? That striker.
What's he Jamaican, Dan?
Well, that's my nickname. That's what all these Newcastle fans call me, the Jamaican Geordie, the Jamaican Geordie, man. Scott was doing a Jamaican accent before we went live. Maybe that was Scott doing Geordie, innit? Maybe that was his Geordie. Geordie Team for Life says 100% up the tune, man.
Go on in, Dan. Come on.
Right, I'm back in it. Backing it. See, it's selected.
Make the pick.
Locked in. Pick submitted. Oh, so there are guaranteed winners on this, by the way, on these. It's not going to be a situation where, no one's won the prize money. Someone will win.
Yeah.
So, mate, nervy.
Can't wait till Monday. Ryan, Dan's out, and we're still in it.
Oh, yeah. Listen, mate. Just need to. After last time, Chelsea let me down big time. It made me sick having to cheer on Chelsea. It really did. You know what I mean? So
it's good fun though, isn't it? It's good fun. It's a good laugh. You know, it's a fun game to play. That one. It is a fun game to play.
97. I also acknowledge Ryan as the OTC of West Ham Fan TV, the original tribal chief Ryan. Oh, lads. So yeah, the other day, like me and Nikki, we did a video about Lucas Fabianski coming back to West Ham after he was let go. Wes Foderingham was shipped off to Limassol. He was sold. Well, he was sold, but we didn't. We just said have him. Basically, he was still under contract. We said, here, have Wes Foderingham. We'll get Fabianski back. So there was a lot of talk about, basically, lads, how you feel about Fabianski coming back. How you feel about us letting him go in the first place? It seems he's going to be third choice striker. Well, the way we are,
that's what he's back for.
He could be in it. Third choice goalkeeper. Yeah. What do you guys feel about? How do you feel about the Fabianski coming back?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy he's back, mate. To be honest, he should never have gone in the first place. I think his experience is a voice back in the dressing room. I think he can pass on his knowledge and experience to Hermansen. I think he'd be a great ambassador for him. I think he'll help him out. But look, Fabianski's going to want to be playing, mate. He's going to be like, I don't think he's come back as a third choice. I think that he thinks that he can still play. Like goalkeepers, as long as they keep themselves fit, he's 40, 41 now. I think he can. He still looks fit as anything. I've been watching him in training. He's still flying about. Do you know what, mate? A couple of bad games for Hermansen. Fabianski could be number one again this season. He could be back in between them sticks.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's back at the club. We should never have let him go.
And this is the thing. Unless he had saying a pre-contract agreed with someone, I don't see why we let him go. It was absolutely pointless. He was, even at the age he is, he's better than the third choice goalkeeper that we had. The experience that he has, the level that he's played at, what he's achieved with us as a club. And like you said, he knows the club, he knows the dressing room, he brings something there. And I think the club should have just offered him a year deal and offered him a coaching role at the club.
Do you know what, Scott? I know this is mad, but I'll even start him tomorrow, mate, against Spurs. I think the confidence at the back having him now, and Hermansen is a big game for him. I know he didn't have much going on against Nottingham Forest. He didn't do anything wrong because he didn't have much to face. Tomorrow's going to be a different game, different atmosphere. Fabianski's been around that atmosphere. He knows the club. I would chuck him straight in, mate. I'm not even joking.
But the thing is, I see where you're coming from with that, right? But the fact that he hasn't had no game time, he hasn't had no real pre-season. But on that thinking, you put Areola in because Areola's been on the big games. Yeah, he's been there in that sort of thing. So you're going to trust him a bit more than you trust the Fabianski that's had no match time. The thing for me with the game tomorrow is
I know you say about match time, but goalkeepers are in goal. They're not running around the pitch.
It's more the concentration levels. So long as you're fit, you haven't got to be fit enough to run around a pitch for 90 minutes. You've got to be mentally fit for 90 minutes to concentrate and still be agile. But I think to drop Hermansen after the keeping a clean sheet, I'm with you. He didn't have a lot to do, right?
He won't drop him. Yes, he'll start him tomorrow. I'm confident he'll start him. But I'm just saying. I think it's a great move by the club to bring him back. If I'm honest, and I think Hermansen's only going to benefit from having Fabianski back at the club. I think Areola will as well because I think him and Areola. You see the video of them two when they see each other, cuddling, and I bet Areola's glad he's back. And I agree. I think Fabianski should go on to be a coach, a goalkeeping coach for the club in the future. But yeah.
That's the thing. It's just a pointless move just to let him leave. You know what I mean? It just seems silly. You look at your third choice. Your third choice is normally always someone with a lot of experience. Look at City. They had Carson as their third choice keeper for God knows how long. The guy's won more trophies being as a third choice goalkeeper than he did in the rest of his career. So, but he's there for that experience, to bring that experience to the other younger goalkeepers, and he's been in situations before.
Who was that?
Carson.
Yeah, Carson was there just for the English quota.
But
that's why Chelsea try and rob Green.
Yeah, but he still brings that experience in the dressing room.
Oh yeah, I get that,
yeah.
and that's a big factor why I think Potter and the club wanted Fabianski back, because I don't feel, maybe they've looked at Hermanson and thought, do you know what, maybe he ain't ready for the Premier League. I know he played for Leicester in the Premier League, but maybe he's not as ready as we thought. Let's get Fabianski back in. Him and Areola are battling it out, and then Hermanson can come back in maybe towards next season. I don't know, but look, I'm happy he's back at the club. I like Fabianski. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers we've ever had. I think he's a top class goalkeeper. He's just do you know what? Do you know why I'm glad he's back? Because when you go back and watch his leaving video, you see how much the club meant to him. So for him to get this opportunity to come back, I know people say, "Oh, it's embarrassing," but I don't think it's embarrassing because we've gone out and got a goalkeeper and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think it's that embarrassing, especially if the other guy wanted to go. You know, maybe he looked at it that this Limassol coming in for him and gives him the opportunity to play a bit of football.
That other goalkeeper, Scott, I might as well have gone in goal.
Yeah, no,
he's not even championship quality, mate. He's I don't even know why we signed him in the first place.
I don't think it's embarrassing to bring him back per se, but I think the fact that we let him go in the first place, only to bring him back, and we should have just kept him in the first place. It's almost a bit like reminiscent of Carlton Cole situation. Like we've looked a bit foolish by what we've done, and I think with Fabianski, looking from what he said coming back to the club, I think he kind of knows, like, he hasn't got expectations of playing. Of course, he's going to try his hardest and fight for that first team spot. But he said a lot about what we've said. You know, I'm here to, really, what I can bring to the dressing room, my character, what I can help the team with off the pitch. And look, if I can play, I can play. But I think he's kind of aware of his role. However, he is an experienced keeper, and I think there's more chance of him getting in the team than Wes Foderingham. Like any third choice goalkeeper we've had, it's almost like he's joint second choice, really, at this part, or 2.5 choice. And I agree with Scott, like personally, that for this game, I would go with Areola because I think the goalkeeper is going to be tested, and Areola is a great shot stopper. I didn't even see that, flashed up so quick.
Yeah, it's that one.
I know he's got a better.
But look, I agree. I think that Areola would probably be the first choice to start tomorrow. If Hermanson is not available or he does want to drop him, but as I agree with what you said, it's nice to have him back at the club in the dressing room as well. Experienced player, and that goalkeepers union is such a tight community. Like you know, when you speak to any goalkeeper, like Jimmy Walker would tell you how it was when he played. They're like nutters that just go off and do their own training. So when they're like they've got that togetherness,
it could do Hermanson the world of good, didn't it? It could do Hermanson a lot of good.
The thing is as well, you've got to remember with Fabianski as well, he's experienced low points in his career. And things like that. So he could be I'm saying, he could be the perfect person to have around a young goalkeeper who's experiencing a bit of flack at the moment.
Yeah, we let too many big characters in the dressing room go in the summer, right? We lost a lot. We lost Zufal, we've lost Antonio, we've lost Creswell. Zuma, obviously, we lost him the season before he come back, but he went this season. Like there was a lot of big names, and Fabianski was one of them. So I think to have him back, I think is not going to be a bad thing. It's only a positive to me.
I agree.
Let's get straight, because a lot of people have got a lot of questions. I've been starting stuff about the Spurs game. Let me read a couple of comments on Fabianski, and then we'll get straight into the Spurs game, because a lot of people want to know our thoughts on that, lineups, all of that stuff. Big game tomorrow. Christian says Fabianski number 2 for me. Over who? Who's your number 1 then? Gaza says Hermanson will be in goal tomorrow, 100%. Steve WHU Bell agrees with Scott. Yeah, Areola for me tomorrow. Let's see. Right. Rob says, I hope Fab gets some coaching badges with the academy. If Potter is getting to keep him third choice, it would be nice to have him like in a coaching role. Melissa, yes, to Fab back at West Ham United. Yeah, I think everyone generally is pleased to have him back. You need people, someone that loves the club. Joe says, another person, Daddy, you drinking beers, that won't do your fitness journey any good. One won't hurt, will it? Let me see how many calories are in this. Let's do a calorie count. How big is it? How many mil is this?
A lot less than what's in a burger, so you're fine.
220 calories, right? Ooh, I need to drink Bud Light instead. That's less
Coors
calories,
Light.
isn't it?
Coors Light's better.
Leave it out, Dan. You're not an American. You're proper.
Coors Light. We don't really do light beer though, do we? Low-cal beer over here, do we?
They love a light beer over here. To be fair, they are nice. I had a Bud Light lime, and it come in this metal bottle when I was sitting around the pool, and it was so nice, honestly. So I retract my previous statement, Dan. Go light.
all right. So I'll try it. I've got one more of these left in the fridge, so I'll save that for next week, and then boom. Rich, West Ham, £5 super chat. Thank you very much, Rich. Mate. He's also in the draw. He's got a few entries in the draw, for the prize draw, which I'll remind everyone about in a minute. I said we should have kept Fabs and Creswell to help around the club, and even occasionally play. Great chat. Come on, you Irons. Yeah, like even Creswell, like with the centre back issue, he actually did a decent job last season at centre back, and we've had a centre back crisis. I don't think.
Do you know what? Right? I speak to someone quite regularly who's a massive Stoke fan. He's a season ticket holder, and he's raving about Creswell at the moment.
Yeah,
playing well, signing these people are really, really well, and I think they're doing quite well in the Championship at the moment. So, yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing well there, from what I've been hearing.
That's the thing as well. For when you look at it, letting Creswell go, maybe the idea of going to play in the Championship where he can play regularly, he's that age where he wants to play football.
Creswell wants to go back up north for family reasons. So Stoke is obviously not too far from where his family lives, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm surprised that Wrexham didn't try and get him, because that's even closer to where he's from, Wrexham.
Yeah.
It's right near Liverpool and that.
Would have been a good move for them, to be honest, I think.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I know they wanted they tried to get off us. Irving, didn't they? They tried to get Irving.
Yeah.
Who's still here, who said, he's hungry and wants to do well. And I hope he does, because each time if he scores a goal, I think Scott's getting it. But yeah, so let me just, before we get stuck into the Spurs game, this is the you can see over here we have the wheel with a lot of people's names. You might not be able to see that, all the individual names, but look, you've got and I've mixed it all up. So we've got Melissa, Kukiyama, Kenneth, Malcolm, Rich, everyone who's a member is in here. So you've still Scott, you've still got the time from now until we finish talking about the Spurs game to get your name in this list to win a Dixie shirt. So someone in this list is going to win. And I'm a bit concerned because my mum's on this list. And if she wins, there's going to be shouts of shenanigans. So I'm nervous about that because it's not like different names. You've got like the Lawless in there. So people are going to go, Lawless, what? But there it is. Still a bit of time to get your name in there. So membership, you can click the join button down below, or one better, I will put a link in the chat and you can get in with a chance to win the Dixie shirt. It's signed, it's nice, and it's a good, even without the signature, I like that shirt. I think it's one of our good classics this era.
That's my favourite West Ham shirt of all time. That was the shirt for my first game. Yeah, I love that shirt. I actually bought one a couple of years ago off a classic football shirt. It's like a proper one, like in good condition as well. Like, so I love it. But yeah, I've got one of them, obviously, them shirts from the other night, signed by Dixie to Ryan. Best wishes, Julian. I'm going to look to get it framed.
Nice. Yeah. So you can all do the same. The runners up get a pint glass. I don't know how you do a runner up in a raffle, but we are working on the pint glass situation. I've been on Nikki's case behind the scenes. we are working to make sure we have plenty of pint glasses for everyone to go around. So we hear you. We're on it. Because
Well, we're probably going to have some Cotty ones because we just announced that we're doing a night with Tony Cotty on the 6th of November at the Brewdog. So I'm sure they'll probably get some Cotty ones signed, and we'll have one of them to raffle off as well.
Graham's going to be joining the membership as in the Legends tier. I reckon try and get that.
Tickets went on sale yesterday for that. Doing really well at the moment, which I thought they would. So it should be another sold out night. So probably the last event before Christmas.
Do you know the good thing about Cotty is he don't work with a club. He's not interested in it. He says how it is. He's not scared to
very, very, very outspoken that night. So if you want to come down, go on the Brewdog site. We'll put the link in the description after. Early bird tickets as well, so they're cheaper at the moment. So yeah, come down, join us. 6th of November, Thursday night. Scott,
you
going to join us?
I will be there, mate. I will be there. He's one of my favourite players.
Scott. So no way, you're joking.
I'm coming along.
Wow, you've been visited by 3 ghosts or something. What's going on here,
Scott? Yeah, don't forget the ticket. The ticket link is on Brewdog site, so you can get your ticket from there, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Well, yeah. Extra for you, Scott. So that's where you get your tickets.
I don't get the early bird prices. I have to pay top dollar. See,
top dollar. Scott.
If you go onto our Twitter and look at the pinned tweet, there's a link to the ticket there. But after this finishes, if you look in the description, I'll put the Tony Cotty link for that is in there as well. So yeah, it'll be another great night. The Dixie one was such a good night, such a good experience, especially for myself. He's my favourite player of all time. So yeah, they're good nights down the Brewdog, and they wanted one more before Christmas. So yeah, we managed to get Tony Cotty in, so it'll be good. Cotty in the Brewdog.
That's going to be class. Dan,
can we put the link on our Facebook page and start getting people over there? You know, because we are back on Facebook, so we need some more followers.
Yes, once we get to that 100, we get things out. We can start going live on there and publishing content on there and getting that all. Scott and his dogs going off on one. Ted the Hammer, right? That's another name I've got to add. Shout out to Ted. He's become a new YouTube member. I need to see what it Okay, so Ted, you get one entry into the draw. Let me add his name in right now. Ted the Hammer.
Ted the Hammer Valentine.
Ted is in the draw. Well done, Ted. Ted's going to win. Imagine Ted wins. Like he just last minute.
I'm rooting for Ted now. Come on, Ted.
Ted. He's like number 30 at the Royal Rumble, isn't it? Like he's come out last. Everyone else died. Yeah. So Scott, I messaged you and you never respond on Facebook. He's not on his Facebook as much.
I'll have to have a look. Yeah, I'm not on there that often, but I'll have a look.
Same with me. Like I go in there for our page, like to check things, but even then, like I'm not on Facebook a lot.
It's not that I ain't on Messenger a lot.
Yeah, Messenger, because Messenger is like a separate bloody app now.
Yeah.
I only use Facebook just to remind me when people's birthdays are.
Yeah. Twat Jason. Yeah, Jason's bloody finally responded. He's supposed to let me know we're supposed to be going to Cyprus. And I'm like, you silly twat, you're airing me because you're trying to pay this money. You're supposed to come down for tomorrow for the watch along. And he's like, yeah, what time should I pop round? I was like, you can't avoid me then, can you bastard? Yes.
Where's their invite to Cyprus?
Well, it's for my dad's birthday. Like, well, you can come if you want. You can come if you want. It's going to be me. You know, the thing is, actually, you guys can drink. You guys can. Because, you know, when me, Damo, and Grace get together.
Scott's one of these people. He moans he don't get invited. And when you invited him, he bottles out. He makes up
and he invited me to a single away trip once, Scott. Cheeky bastard. So, yeah, right. Oh, it's Ted's birthday. Happy birthday, Ted. Hope you get some birthday
Happy birthday, mate.
Oh, it's definitely going to look like a fix now, isn't it? Happy birthday, Ted.
They've let him win because it's then fucking spin it. You got me on edge. Don't worry, Joe. I think Joe's on the cult. Yeah, I think Joe's got 2 or 3. I've mixed them all up now, so they're all bloody over the place. But Joe, you've got a couple of entries. You've got a good thing to ding. Dan, will you do another Tucker social with the guys again? We want to do like different things like that. We may eventually get back round because I know Scott will be burning to try and get a rematch, but we've got a lot of other stuff to do on there like that we're going to try and do. So give me 10 for love. It's my birthday, my mum, dad, brothers, sisters. Listen, it's a wheel. I have no control. I click the button, it spins, and it drops on whoever, right? So we'll see. We have no control. But before we get to that, then we're gonna get into this Spurs game. Big game tomorrow, 5:30 kickoff at London Stadium. And this one, I think there's going to be a lot of tension in it. It's going to be a fiery one, like it was when we first played Arsenal after they signed Declan Rice. This one, I think, is going to have the intensity in it and the fire that we missed on the last time we played them at our ground. And I don't know how you guys. I feel weirdly confident, but that just makes me feel nervous. How are you guys feeling about this game tomorrow?
Yeah, look, it's always this fixture always stands out, doesn't it? I know they call it our cup final, whatever. But it's a big game for them as well. Big London derby, live on Sky under the lights. Obviously, the added spice is that Kudus is coming back. But do you know what? What a massive curveball it would be from Thomas Frank not to start him tomorrow. Just to take that off, leave him on the bench to bring him on. And you know what? I really could see that happening because he knows what's the atmosphere. It could kill the atmosphere not starting him. So it might happen, it might not, but yeah, it's going to be a good game. I'm expecting a good game of football. I think West Ham, we are going to be a lot more confident than what we was a couple of weeks ago after that victory against Forest. But yeah, look, we've got. Obviously, I think the only player that's not available is going to be Fulkrug. I know he trained this week, but he's not fully fit. So, which is good to hear because I thought he was going to be out for a long time after he's like hearing what happened. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good game.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, you could see him doing that type of thing to sort of rub a bit more salt into the wounds by leaving him on the bench and making him come off, especially if Spurs are not playing well when he comes off and he becomes their shining light, and rips us a new one. But it's tough. Back in the day, you would have seen someone go through him in the first tackle and probably took him out of the game, but you can't afford to do that anymore. So you don't really see that fire and intensity in tackles and things like that. I hope someone does leave something on him because it is the way he left the club was wrong. Look, I know a lot of the stuff that he says is PR crap and things that he has to do to blow smoke up Spurs fans' arses, and they're that gullible that they believe it, that type of thing. So
I don't know who the referee is tomorrow, Scott, but I hope he does let the game flow and let the tackles go. It's a London derby. It's I think that the game's gone soft over the last few years, and we want to see. I think the last couple of seasons we have seen a few games where tackles have gone in and referees have let it go. Let's hope that I don't know who the referee is tomorrow, but let's hope he lets the game flow. And I'd love to see, obviously, if he did start or when he come on, I'd love to see someone just put in a tackle and leave one on him.
Mate, that's it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be. I'm expecting a good game. They're looking to bounce back after the defeat last week. We got a good win against Forest. We played a lot better. So, I think it's going to be a good game of football. This one. I just hope we are a bit more positive in our 11. And we don't just try and soak up the pressure.
They've obviously got a couple of new signings as well. Is it Xavi Simons, or how to say it? Which they're all raving about. So he'll probably get a start tomorrow. The one that worries me is Johnson, because I think that he started the season well, and he's always that player that can create something or nick a goal. So I think that the midfield is going to be key tomorrow, and how we're going to start, I don't know. I'd love to see him maybe go for it and give Magassa a go. Start with Fernandez as well. Proper mix it up in there, because it is going to be a difficult game tomorrow. It's a game that no one wants to lose. Tottenham fans won't want to lose it as well. But it's about if we get the win tomorrow, it'll push us up the table. It moves you into the top half. So there's a lot riding on this game tomorrow. And after the performance against Forest, you don't even know who he's going to start up front, because if Fulkrug, will he go with Callum Wilson? Is Callum Wilson fit enough to start? I think he is. I'd give him a go. Or do you not play a striker? Do you play like we did against Spurs them years ago with Ravel Morrison, that position? Play the false nine, pack out the midfield, play off the front, play off the wingers. Somerville, is he fit enough to start? I don't know. I'd rather Somerville come on like he did against Forest and have that pace if we're still in the game, or if we've got something to go for. I think it's going to be a really entertaining game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
No, I'm the same way. I think it will be. I really do.
Yeah, I think with tomorrow's game, a few people have said, like, we can't take much from the Forest game because they were crap. But I think, they were crap. But I think we also played our part in it. I think we defended really well. We had a good game plan. The midfield was a lot better with Fernandez in it. Mm-hmm. And then the substitutions changed the game. And you can't say that Somerville was good because Forest were crap. You can't say that Wilson was good because Forest were crap. And you can't say it about Fernandez either. So I think we've got reason to feel like we can get a result tomorrow. It's not all doom and gloom. If he puts out the right team, sticks with that back four, obviously Fernandez is going to start. It's going to be a question on who starts with him.
Yeah.
If I think Joey's just cracking me up. Just to try to have a serious series. Keeps me in the wheel camera until his mum wins. You're going to see that 1 minute, one day, think my mum's going to win, and you're going to see that over there in that gap, frame Julian Dick shirt. Yeah, so it's that midfield of, is he going to start Magassa? If he doesn't, I think Souček would be one for this game, personally, in the midfield. We'll get into like proper starting 11s, but I just want to see a really positive lineup from Potter tomorrow and take the game to it, because we see a back five and we see Rodriguez and we see Ward-Prowse, everyone's going to bloody,
That's the thing, mate. If we go that negative, you can't really justify starting Rodriguez in that game alongside the Ward-Prowse. It would be madness to put that slow midfield back together again after we saw such a difference against Forest. We got the new lad as well to come in who would give us a bit more legs, and you got to be looking at more to bring him in than to bring a player that you've been trying to shift and not been able to get rid of. It would be madness to do that. I think the midfield battle is going to be key again tomorrow. If we can dominate that midfield and win that midfield and cause them problems there, like you said, you've got players there pushing for starts. You've got impact from what Wilson and Somerville did the other week. Both looking to start. Paqueta was a different level again last week. We need to now see these consistencies and levels, especially in the big players like Paqueta's, the Bowens, the Somervilles, when he does get back and up and running to full fitness. And like you said, the only downside is the Fulkrug injury. I think other than that, we're very strong now.
I think that like the big one tomorrow is whether he's going to start with a back four, which I think he will. And if he does, is Walker-Peters going to keep his place in the team? Because he played well against Forest. And to drop him, just like Mavropanos, you can't drop him because, you know that I'll say you shouldn't change a winning team. Like, I don't bowl that. It's whatever, your
best team should play.
I feel like with that back four that started against Forest, I think he looked quite solid. And I think I do. I think Walker-Peters, I think, should keep his place in the starting lineup. But if he does drop him and bring Wan-Bissaka in, we've got another good player coming in.
Yeah. But someone turned around and said, though, with the fact that Kudus is probably going to be playing, would you look at bringing Wan-Bissaka in as left back? It was in the chat earlier on, and dropping Diouf for this one. With Wan-Bissaka having that bit more of a Premier League experience, the experience of playing up against Diouf in training.
Diouf's
Kudus in training.
Diouf's going to love playing against Kudus tomorrow. He's going to love it.
Yeah.
And he's going to be the one. If anyone's going to put Kudus into Rosette, it'll be him.
Yeah, like this is the thing. And the thing is, if we have that mindset of we'll drop the youth because Walker Peters will do a better job at marking Kudus, I think that's a negative approach because the youth is going to be our best creative outlet. He's going to with them crosses, if we do have Wilson on, Wilson's going to be loving them crosses. So
you know how you stop Kudus, you double up on him.
Double up, yeah.
When he's on that ball, as soon as he's get that ball, two of them up him. Yeah. He panics. We've seen him do it for us, and I've seen him do it for Spurs so far this season. He panics on the ball, and when things ain't going his way, he'll try to do little drag overs and things like that. If it's not coming on, the crowd are going to cheer every bad touch, every misplaced pass. It's going to get to him. So that's what you do. You wind him up.
Why.
I don't want to see players tomorrow cuddling him in the fucking tunnel, cuddling him on the pitch, high-fiving him. Oh, I've missed you, mate. Fuck off. Do that after the game. Shake his hand. I don't want to see none of that in the tunnel before.
No.
The thing is, we also know Kudus doesn't like to track back. So that you've got to be looking at exploiting that the left back for Spurs. When we do get forward.
Yeah, of course. I think this is why I would actually look to start Somerville. I think Somerville is one of our best players. And look, if he can't play a full 90, start him, right? And then bring him off at 60 minutes, whatever you need to do. But because that way, what Somerville doesn't just get, he gives you, pace going forward, but we also know he can come back and get involved in the tackles. Remember, Villa away, first game, him and Kudus were doubling up on players, getting the tackles, winning the ball back. He was bullying Tyrone Mings off the ball. So I
do get what you mean, but I think I'd rather have him coming off the bench later on in the game with his pace. But
the problem is,
if he did start tomorrow, we could be well out of the game by that point. That's the only
that's a risk. That's the gamble.
That's the only risk. But look, if he did start tomorrow, I'm not against it. I think Somerville he's going to be a key player for us. As long as he stays fit. You see what he done against Forest. His pace frightened Forest. He frightened fucking me.
Galerme's back as well. Galerme's back. So that's an option.
The thing with Somerville, because he's been out for such a long period of time, I know we've had the international break and all that, but I think it might be too soon to throw him straight back in that 11, straight back as a starter.
In a game in that high intensity.
Do you know what I mean? It could be a bit much on him. He's had a long time out, so we've got to look at sort of, yes, we want him to start because he's by far the best player we've got on that left hand side, but we've also got to maintain that he's going to be able to stay fit, because at the end of the day, he could have a weldy within 60 minutes of Spurs and pick up another injury, and we lose him for 5 or 6 weeks or longer. So we've got to be very careful how we bring him back and bed him back in. It's a bit like Wilson as well. I think it would be great to see Wilson start, and as well as Somerville start, but we've got to manage these players because they have had the injuries that Somerville had, and we know with Wilson's injury record. Same as Fulkrug. We've got to try and look after these players.
We'll never start Wilson though, because Wilson hasn't just come back off of a long injury. But Wilson has an injury record. But if you don't ever start him because of his record, then you're never going to start him because he's got a record. He's always got that record.
Yeah, it's just building them up and building them up, getting minutes into the legs. That's the key thing about it, is getting the minutes into the legs.
I think Wilson starts tomorrow. I think he'll start him.
Yeah.
If we start Bowen up front, I'm checked.
Look, if he started Bowen up front and brought in Magassa and played Somerville as well, it's Bowen can play up front, but I prefer him out on the wing because it's what he does best, cutting inside and shooting. It's what he does best. But I think he will start Wilson tomorrow, and it's a big game for Fernandes tomorrow as well. Yeah. And I think he's going to be well up for this game. He started well at Forest, but now it's his first home game, under the lights, London Derby, big game. He's going to want to make an impression on the West Ham fans and his teammates. So I think it's a big game for him as well.
Yeah. I think, 100%. And like with Bowen, like if he's on the right, I think our best front three is Bowen on the right, Wilson up top, and then Somerville on the left. Like that's like from players. Like if you had to pick the best front three, all fit, I think that's the best front three. So if we can at some point in the game have those three there in them positions, I think we're good.
I think the way we played last time with a 4-2-3-1, the Wilson up front and the three behind him would be Bowen, Somerville, and Paqueta. You know, that there is your best front four if he sets up that way with
if you include
4-2-3-1. So I agree, and it's a game I'm really looking forward to. Like I can't really call it because I don't know what West Ham's going to turn up, and I don't know what Tottenham's going to turn up. I'm hoping that our best, team's going to turn up, and we're going to want to win the game. But Tottenham are one of these teams we've only beaten once in the last 7 games, and but they haven't beaten us at the London Stadium since 2019, I think it was. So if you say it like that, it's got draw written all over it, isn't it? And that's
all things considered. Would you take it? Would you take the draw? All things considered.
I would. If a draw tomorrow ain't the worst result in the world. Obviously, we all want the win, but we are playing a decent team. We've got a good manager in it. All right, they had a bad result against Bournemouth the other week at home, but that happens. So I went for 2-2 in my prediction thing in work because I said that it could be one of these games where we might find ourselves 2-0 down and then we just claw it back, and get a good result.
Somerville's substitution changes the game like it did against Forest.
I think it's going to be an entertaining game tomorrow. It's a game I'm really looking forward to watching.
Before we get to predictions and that, and we'll get to some comments as well, take me through like the starting lineups that you would like to see, that the team from 1 to 11 that you think should be starting this game.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'd go the same as Forest, but Wilson just replaces Fulkrug. We had Souček and Ward-Prowse in the middle. He's not going to drop Ward-Prowse. I think you're right. Souček will probably suit this game. And then the front three or the front four of Bowen, Paqueta, and Fernandez out on the left, and Wilson up top. That's how I think he'll go. I would like to I haven't really seen much of Magassa, so I wouldn't say he's ready to play in this game. I don't know his style of play. Maybe he could play in there with alongside Souček. Maybe he could play there alongside Ward-Prowse. I don't know, but that's the team I'll go with. With the goalkeeper situation, he'll probably start Hermanson tomorrow as well. So,
what about you, Scott? What's your preferred 11?
I think it'd be tough to change too much after that. I wouldn't revert back to the back 5 because it's not been too good so far this season. Mavropanos, he stepped up last week like we needed him to. Walker Peters again don't deserve to be dropped. I think it'll be what the manager decides to do up front. To be honest, with the injury to Fulkrug.
That's the sentence that Scott thought he'd never say this season. Walker Peters doesn't deserve to be dropped.
Yeah, Scott. Hey, what are you saying now, Scott?
Yeah. Hey, this is
I
the
don't
thing.
rate him. I don't rate him.
That's it. But it's tough. It is tough to make the right choices as the manager has to do. But I think sticking with what we saw at Forest, still for me, leaving Somerville, but maybe get him on the pitch a little bit earlier. Give him more minutes in the legs, and give Wilson a start. That's the thing. Give Wilson a start. Let him have a start, even if you use him for 60 minutes. Try and get as much out of him as you can. I know, as I was saying, you've got to be careful with him that he didn't have a pre-season, that type of thing, but give him the opportunity. We saw the difference he makes with his movement. The only thing that worries me with him starting up top is that we will probably sit deep like we did against Forest. You go back to that first half against Forest. The average amount of time all our players spent was in our own half.
Yeah.
And that was against the Forest side that weren't that great. So for me, I'd stick with the same back line, same midfield, and I'd bring Wilson in to replace Fulkrug.
Thing is as well, Scott, is sorry that I was just about to say the bench is going to be a lot stronger tomorrow. There's more options. We've obviously got the Brazilian defender that come in as well, who's probably going to be on the bench.
Yeah.
We've got Somerville. We've got Tadibo. So the bench now, when you look at the start of the season, which is poor, Guilherme back, it's going to look a lot more stronger. So the options for Potter, if it ain't going our way, he can change it, or to bring the likes of Somerville. It's a shame that we haven't got Fulkrug fit, because having Wilson on the bench would be another option. But yeah.
So yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I think that's the big, having that bench is key, and we haven't had that. So the team I'll go for, Voris, Lawrence, you can't say anything after what you said about Wilson. Let me just address this. What I said about Wilson hasn't been proved wrong. I never questioned Wilson as a player. I think he's a good player, although a lot of your Newcastle fans told me his legs were gone. But that's yet to be disputed. We'll see how he does over 90 minutes. My big issue with him was his injury record. Now, that's still yet to be proved. If he goes a long period of time without getting injured, then I'll take the L on that. I'll say, oh, mate, I thought he was going to bloody guarantee to be injured, and he stayed fit. So, yeah, look at Scott. He's loving it, because he's like, you said to me about all the
do you think with Wilson, though, Wilson's going to want to be up for this one and want to play for this one, just so he can give it to Antonio if he scores the winner? I think Antonio loves scoring a winner against Spurs, and the podcast
I think he'll be up for it, for the fact that it's a big game, and he knows it's a big game, and he's going to want to be the hero.
I'm surprised we didn't sign Antonio on a one-game deal and just put him in the squad for Spurs, because he does love a goal against that lot.
Yeah, this would be one. But the team I'd go for is pretty much the same as Forest, except about 3 changes. All right, same back line. In fact, I'd put Areola in this one, actually, over Hermansen, just because our goal is going to be under a lot more pressure than it was against Forest. And Areola, in these pressure games where he's facing shots, has pulled off some heroics in the past. So I would actually go with Areola for his experience and his shot stopping. Same back 4. Walker Peters, can't drop him. Class. Obviously, he used to play for Spurs. Midfield, Fernandez and Souček, right? So I'm taking Ward-Prowse out. I'm putting Souček in. He knows what these games are about. He's a physical player, and he's had a few goals against Spurs. He can do the late runs into the box, all of that stuff. Souček for this game and the experience. Paqueta obviously starts, and then my changes up front. Obviously, you have Bowen. Wilson in for Fulkrug is injured, so I would start Wilson in this game, and then I would probably start Somerville, because I think we had Fernandez on the left wing, didn't we, initially?
Mm-hmm.
Which I want to see him in his strongest position. So I would, like they say, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to start, as people say. So just manage him in that game. Keep an eye on him. Communicate with him. If he needs to come off at half-time, manage him, right? But start that game strong. And in that way, maybe we go 1-0 up or something like that, and then maybe you can bring on Guilherme as a like-for-like sub. But I think midfield is key.
I like the thought of Fernandez in the middle, because I think that he's probably our best player at breaking up play. You see that against Forest when you watch the highlights back, and as he said, when he played out on the left last time, he done that. He helped Diouf on the left, breaking up the play. So that could be maybe why Potter might start him at it. If Kudus does start for Tottenham, them two breaking up the play and doubling up on Kudus. But look, if that is the starting lineup tomorrow, then it's a good starting lineup. But I like the way that we've all said starting lineups. We've all had 1 or 2 differences, but they're all strong lineups. And as I said, it shows the options we've got on the bench now, which is the key to, if you want any success this season, you've got to have a strong squad, and injuries you've got to be lucky with injuries. So I actually fancy Fernandez to score tomorrow. I think he's going to get his first goal for West Ham against Spurs tomorrow.
It's crazy how everyone, we say
someone's just mentioned Potts there. I forgot all about Potts. Yeah. He's on the bench as well.
Yeah, you got Potts, Marshall as well. Someone mentioned Marshall.
What I'm just going to allude to. We've heard about Guilherme coming back, but Callum Marshall, sitting there as a striker as well. He won't start. You're not going to see him start at all. But is he an option to bring off the bench? Young, hungry. He's just come back from international duty. He's going to want to try and give himself as many opportunities to try and do well in the Premier League to help himself internationally to get in that starting 11.
I was just about to say that what Dino said there. I was just thinking to myself, how mad would it be if he started tomorrow? It probably won't happen. But imagine if he did. Imagine being that youngster playing in a big game like that. You'd chase every ball. You'd do everything. You'd be putting in tackles. You'd be looking for the ball. As someone said earlier in the comments, Tony Cottee made his debut against Spurs at 17. And he scored. So.
Yeah, 100%. So
no, there's cases. Yeah, we've got George Murphy back as well. Another good youngster backing around.
He won't feature tomorrow, but it's good to have these players back. It's good to have them back in the squad. And do you know what? We'll get into score prediction. You said 2-2, Ryan, right?
Yeah.
I said 2-1 on the video with Nick. I've said it a few times. I've said 2-1 West Ham. I'm going at Scott. What are you reckoning?
I think as well it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go with Ryan. I think it's going to be 2-2.
That's fair. I think so. Me and Nicky have both gone 2-1. You guys have gone 2-2. And me and Nicky have both gone for Newcastle, and you guys have both gone to Liverpool.
You know what? I just hope, touch wood, pray that it's not another performance like it was against Chelsea, and we come out of there after and getting a good hiding, because that positivity that we felt against Forest, and what we've been talking about tonight, we're all sort of confident going into the game, even though I've gone for a draw, I think, which will be a good result. I just think a good hiding off of losing 3 or 4-1 or whatever, it will be mayhem over there.
I think with the right lineup, we shouldn't see that in a proper midfield. With a proper midfield, we shouldn't see that, because that midfield, it was just like a hole in it and they were just running through us. So with proper players in there, I don't think we should see that. But yeah, we can't have that.
Can you imagine if it was the other way around though, and we went out and we won?
Smashed.
Imagine it. Like but do you know what? Look, I know, like we've got the love and like hatred with the banter with Spurs and all that, but they're a tough team. Thomas Frank's a good manager, and he'll have them set up right for this game. And as I said, I could see him maybe not starting Kudus, just to chuck that little bit of petrol on the fire, just to get the crowd, because the crowd are going to be up for it, building up to the game. Them starting lineups come out and they see Kudus ain't there. The atmosphere is gonna just drop a little bit.
The thing is as well, mate, with that is that starting Kudus and he goes on to get an early goal. It's going to set a precedent for the whole game, isn't it? It's one of them. It could work either way. That's the thing. Listen, I think if we get a hammer in tomorrow, it is a big one step forward for Potter and 3 or 4 steps back. Do you know what I mean? I think that he got that win against Forest, and the performance against Forest was much better, and he gave him a good reprieve. But a poor performance tomorrow and a hiding, puts a lot of pressure back on him. Pressure back on him. So this is another big game for him, a big opportunity for him to prove himself as well as the players that we've got.
Yeah. Ted brings up another point we're going to talk about. No half and half scarves are on sale tomorrow due to Spurs fans in our end. So what they've said is basically to stop. They're trying to clamp down on away fans in the home end sneaking in. What some fans do is get the half and half scarves as a way to, I don't know, sort of not wear a West Ham scarf, but they've got the half and half scarf. That's their story. That's what they're saying. I think half and half scarf should just be banned in general.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's wearing a half and half Tottenham's West Ham scarf shouldn't even be anywhere near that football ground anyway, because why would you even do that? Like, I don't get all the half and half scarves. I can understand maybe for a cup final or something like that. You get one
tourist.
But
I'd have a half and half Barca Real Madrid shirt if I went to that El Clasico scarf. I'd have that as a souvenir, but if it's your team,
the thing I found funny though, right, was the fact that in there, right, they put, if you want a scarf, go to the club shop. Do you know what I mean? Not like, why are you buying a scarf this time of the year anyway?
The problem is, you are going to have Spurs fans in the home end. Of course you are.
Yep.
You're gonna have that. That's the unfortunate thing. You can't check every. They're gonna have Tottenham shirts underneath their jacket.
Yep.
They ain't gonna take them off in the stadium, but they'll have them on still. You're never going to clamp down on it. But
The-
yeah,
the
I
strange
think
thing
you
for
should.
me-
I agree. You should ban half and half scarves anyway. I think they're ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's a bit timing's a bit strange. We've been at the London Stadium now for a long period of time. We've known that especially in the London derbies and the so-called bigger teams when they come to town, there is away fans in the home end. We've seen it when we played Liverpool, City. You see the tourists in there standing down, especially where we stand down. The tourists coming down and filming the corner and going, "Oh yeah, we're going to see if Fabianski saves it."
Yeah.
That type of thing. And
Yeah.
you know why all of a sudden now? Why has this come out now? Was there a lot of trouble at the Chelsea game, which is why they've had to change their stance on it?
It don't seem like there was enough people to have trouble at the Chelsea game. Enough people there.
But do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. What is the start? Why is it all of a sudden now become an issue?
I bet the people that own them half and half scarves are probably cutting them in half tonight and going to sell them as kids' scarves. Half West Ham.
Because you get them guys, didn't you? Match day scarves, cash or cards, like on the walk up, didn't they?
But I believe that's the only place you can get an half and half scarf.
Yeah, they don't sell them in the club shop.
Yeah, you can't get them in the club shop. It's only them blokes who stand there, didn't they? Like as you walk up.
For me, as I said, I'm just interested why all of a sudden this has been said, and this is like all the extra security, the extra checks, and all this type of thing. I want to know why all of a sudden this is a big issue.
I just think it's down to the fixture, Scott. I think they know there's a lot of hatred in this game in the fan base, and I think that if it ain't going right, if the whole Kudus thing, if it ain't going right and we start losing, and people see a Spurs fan in there, you know what's going to happen. So it's not right. People shouldn't be attacked for wearing their colours, but they shouldn't be sitting in the home end.
Yep.
They should have been clamping down on that from a long time ago.
And that should be in all football stadiums. I think the only one that gets away with it is Liverpool Everton. I think they do mix. Like some Everton fans do go into the home end and because there's no sort of real hatred there.
Well, I don't know. I think that's something that used to be the case, right? But I think that's changed a lot over the years. Like there's been some real hatreds between.
I mean, the only other ground is Fulham because they have a neutral end, didn't they? So they mix fucking everyone in now.
Yeah. No, that's
who's gonna argue with a Fulham fan? I mean, they're so posh there that when they score against you, their butler apologises for you. Like, they don't even have to go and get their own drink. They send Jeeves to go and get it. Like, go and fetch the cheese ball, Jeeves, and a drop of port.
That's exactly. Fancy the Fulham firm. We answered that question with the starting 11. The used boys think we answered that. And then so Steve says he needs to keep the same side, but I think the new guy for Ward Mouse for energy if it's settled okay. I think he might be talking. I think it's all about Magassa there for Ward Mouse, something like that. Can you see a red card coming? Do you know what I could do? I could see a red card in this game potentially if it gets heated.
Hopefully for Kudus.
Yeah, hopefully for Kudus. Hopefully he returns the favour and starts slapping some of our players and gets sent off. Jason says, Ryan, where did you get your belt made? I think Nicky bought it, so you buy it.
Yeah, Nicky, I don't know where he got it from.
He got it online. You can get them. Type in West Ham wrestling belt or West Ham WWE belt. So it looks he could get sent off if this has Souček studs up on Mo Kudus. That's what I mean. Studs up. He needs to be careful, but we need to put one on him. I want at least 2 players to crunch Judas early. Like we have got even if it's not just Kudus, but we need what we didn't see in the last home game against them. No one was putting any like physical crunching tackles in. There was no physicality. You know what I mean? None of that. We need to see that. If one of them players gets stuck into Kudus early, imagine the lift that will give the stadium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the best time to do it early.
The thing is, though, Dan, is I agree with you. I agree with you. As whenever you knew you were playing against a good player, you pull someone to the side that was playing it, and then just let first tackle go through him. Do you know what I mean? You used to see it, but the problem is nowadays with VAR and how the game's rigged to have flamboyant players playing because it looks good instead of crunching tackles and your old-fashioned defenders. It's very hard to put one on someone now. Where before you could rate your studs down someone's Achilles and things like that. Now all that sort of stuff gets picked up on VAR and you're sent off for violent conduct. The game's gone soft and you can't get amongst it like you used to.
Yeah, you got to be smart about it. You got to be
smart. But it's hard to be smart now. You see it now. You've seen players where they've took the ball from a player, but because they lunged in, it's pulled up for a foul.
You can give away a foul. This is what I'm saying. As long as you do whatever it is, you can get yellow. As long as you don't get sent off, put one on it.
No, Dan, I agree, but I'm just saying it's a lot harder to do now than it used to be.
Nah,
it really is.
Yeah, no, I agree, Scott, because you could put a tackle in and then someone's in the fourth official's ear, he's in the referee's ear then, and then they look at VAR and they find something and they say, oh yeah, his bootlace has scraped his leg and he's left the cut and I'll send him up. But I hate all that. I like it like when a player can go in, proper get stuck 50-50. In and then get out and carry on. But you know yourself when you put a tackle in, you go in 70-30, you put that little bit more in because you want to leave something on him. But
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I hope the referee does let it flow tomorrow. I want to see a good game. I want to see an old-fashioned game tomorrow. I want to see two teams going for it. I hope it starts raining just at kickoff. Starts rain. Give a little bit of rain on the pitch. A little bit of wet. Proper zip. Yeah. Love all that. Want to see it.
People want to see physical derbies. Do you know what I mean? That's what you want. Physicality in the game. And hopefully we get to see that tomorrow. And look, any keeper with any fucking set, any keeper, any ref, with any sense knows in a derby you've got to let things go a little bit. You've got to let it play out. It's a 5:30 kickoff for TV. They don't want to see the game ruined within the first fucking 10 minutes of a red card. Like, he's going to have some sense about him. Hopefully that happens. Let's get into this prize draw then. Scott gonna bang out a Donny Osmond tune on the mic. Do you know any, Scott?
No.
Puppy Love.
And they call it.
We're playing Chesney Hawkes video at the end.
Yeah, you've got a music video, Scott.
I know.
I see Chesney last Friday.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him about that. Oh, mate, he weren't happy. He weren't. I'm joking. He loved it. He found the funny side of it. Well, yeah. So
that's good. I'm hopefully I'll see him in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. He said he ain't got to worry about retiring yet.
Right. Do you know what? I'm a bit nervous about this, to be honest, because I want everyone to win. We're going to do this prize draw now for the Dixie shirt.
You just don't want your mum to win, Dan.
I don't want my mum. It's so mental to say this. I don't want my mum to win. I'm shitting myself that she's going to win. I might have to disqualify her. She'll be pissed though if she wins, and I go, "No, mum, you can't win." I'll have to make it up to her somehow.
Hold on. This is it. That.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paulie Walnuts, you've got 0-0 because you ain't a member. You ain't even entered, Paulie. You've had all this time to enter, Paulie. You've got no chance, mate. But yeah, look, I would love everyone to win this competition. I think you're all brilliant. You all support us, and keep this channel going. And it means a lot to us, every single name on here. And obviously, not just the people that are names on it. Look, we really appreciate because the memberships help us. But obviously, everyone who watches and comments and likes, that's all brilliant. So yeah,
and Dino's saying he can't see himself on your wheel.
Dino, you're definitely on there. Dino, you are on there. I remember writing your name specifically. There it is. Look, oh Dino. Look, there you are, Dino. If you've got good eyesight, can Americans win this? Yeah, if they're a member, we'll just have to figure out the shipping. But Americans can win it. Wow, bloody bottom right. Someone said on Dino. Dino might be. He might have 2 entries. I don't know. He might be a cult hero. But I mixed it all up. I should have left it and then mixed it up so everyone can see like they've got multiple. But yeah, Shane's on there. Shane's on there with I think 3 entries because he's Richard's got 3 entries. Philip Demacoli's got 3 entries because they're legends. But yeah, Steve obviously Steve WHU Bell was on there. Mark Pendleton's on there. So yeah, a lot of it. Obviously, Ted's just joined. Yep, we've got you all on there.
Dan, you're dragging it out like Dermot O'Leary on the X
I
Factor.
know. I'm right. Let's just do it. Let's take the plaster off. Rob, yeah, you're definitely on there. Rob with 2 B's. Yep, there you are. Look, Rob with 2 B's.
Come on, Dan. The anticipation's killing me.
Right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right,
come on.
Count me out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh my God.
Good luck, everyone.
Here we go. Who's it going to be? Oh, it's gone past my mum's name. It's gone past Oh, shut up. No, wait. Is it? Oh, it keeps going. Is it going to be Joe? It's Philip. It's Philip Demacoli. Oh, Joe, it was so close, mate. It was so close, but Philip Demacoli won it. One of the legends. Obviously, he had 3 chances to win it, and he won it. Philip Demacoli, well done, Phil. I don't know if he's watching. If he's not watching now, we'll be watching it back. And wow, one of our long time viewers.
Yeah, long time follower, Philip.
So listen, I have to do commiserations to everyone else. I really thought Joe was going to win that there. Missed it by 4. Yeah, Mark was close. Look at that 4. Andy Miles, yeah. Yeah, there was a few in there. It was close and it started going slow. But shout out to Philip. Yeah, mate, he's been day one like a lot of years, and he really, I can really honestly say he deserves this. He's a great lad, Philip. Like I said, he's on one of the legends here. So we had 3 entries into this. So Philip, we will get in touch with us. We will get this to you, mate. This is yours. Enjoy it. You deserve it. You earned it. So Mark Pendleton had his foot on the brake. Honestly, like when I saw it go past my mum's name, I was so relieved. I was like, oh, for that. Imagine.
Can you imagine your mum it was just creeping around to your mum's name?
Yeah, it was. I see it. I was like, oh shit. Demacoli is Dan's real surname. How do I enter next time? There's a pinned link at the top, Sushant. You can become a member. So we're going to do more prize draws as we go. Obviously, like Ryan said, we're going to try and get one for Tony Cotty, signed shirt. We'll try and sort that out. But there's going to be more stuff to win, as well as exclusive content. So you can click the membership, become a member, and enter, Sushant. Philip Demacoli, the one and only. So and we'll keep the original and send to Phil Snide from Temu. Listen, this is authenticated, mate. Ryan C. Dixie signed this himself. So look, Philip's in the chat. There he is. For anyone wanting my surname's Maltese. Congrats, Philip, mate. You deserve it. Top bloke, honestly, he really does deserve it. So West Ham, yeah, this has been a nice little I wish we could have this sort of thing every week, a little game show, spin the wheel. It really brings some tension. I have to think of other ways to incorporate. This is a good fun. So yeah, how do I upgrade? Dan, I asked before, but I can't see a link. You might have to just cancel and then rejoin. I think if there's no way to upgrade, Rich. How to upgrade YouTube membership. Let me quickly check this for Rich. Level. If not, you might just have to Go to the channel's homepage, click or tap on See Perks, select the desired higher membership level, then click or tap change level to confirm the upgrade. You'll get immediate access. So that should be it. Steve says, when's the Cotty night, Ryan?
Thursday, the 6th of November, 7 o'clock till 10:30, 11, I think it finishes, or when they kick us out. But yeah, no, they're always good nights. Cotty will be there to sign your shirts and have photos done with you, and they always stay behind after. And yeah, no, they're good nights. So looking forward to it. As I said, Tony Cotty's not only got his West Ham career to talk about, he's got obviously other bits. We know his feelings towards the board and the club. So yeah, no, it should be a good night. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, no, great show, lads. Really good show. Really enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Let's just hope the post-match reaction tomorrow will be as positive.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, we need it. So yeah, like I said, tomorrow there will be a watch along. Me and Jason, and afterwards there'll be a post-match reaction with me and Ryan, fan cams, and then there will be a post-match pint on Sunday. So yeah, honestly, positive pat for luck. That's what we need.
Even she's give up this season. I can't find her.
She's done a runner. She's done a runner.
The old girl's done a runner on me.
Oh, brilliant. So listen, thanks once again, lads. Thanks everyone in the chat. All the members, all the chatters, all the thumbs uppers. Do give us a like on your way out. Oh god, bit of breaking news. Aguerd scored for Marseille. Bloody twat.
We're probably buying him in January for 50 million.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, thank you. See you all tomorrow for the watch along. Leave a like on your way out. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.